Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Your favorite season is back, and now's the time you can score savings at the Team Automotive Group. You can sell your vehicle to us, and we'll pay you top value. Or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Score VIP service and save at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
As we start today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, here's hoping that your world is absolutely wonderful. Since the last opportunity, we had to spend a little time with you and yours. We start today's show with Louisiana news and some very, very troubling news for arguably one of the most popular tourist destinations in all of America. It was announced recently that the city of New Orleans has now taken over the #1 spot for homicides in any city in America. As of June, the city of New Orleans had recorded 145 murders, replacing St. Louis as the #1 city in America as far as homicides are concerned. Get this. We often talk about the situation in Chicago, the number of shootings every weekend, the number of deaths resulting from shooting. New Orleans has a murder rate of 74 per 100,000 residents. Chicago's number, 18 per 100,000. That means New Orleans has a homicide rate 4 times that of Chicago. And y'all talked about me when I said this. I could hear you through the TV calling me all kind of ugly names, and all I did was tell the truth. Remember not long ago when I said Mayor LaToya Cantrell spending tens of thousands of dollars flying to other countries. She recently went to Switzerland to sign a sister cities agreement, went to their world-renowned jazz festival, and I made the comment, if there was some Swiss citizen that was enamored with the idea that, wow, this mayor flew halfway around the world to come and take part in our jazz festival. And they've got a good jazz festival, from what I understand. Maybe, honey, we've got some extra money. Why don't we fly and return the favor and go to her city to see her jazz festival? I said then, if they go online and look up the city of New Orleans, they're probably going to have second thoughts. Oh, no, darling, we can't go there. Look at the murder rate in this place. And for a city that thrives on tourism, do you know what that does to the entire industry? And the fact of the matter is, let's be realistic about this. The tourism engine that drives the city of New Orleans has a massive spillover effect, meaning people will travel to New Orleans to take in the sights, Sugar Bowl, Mardi Gras, Super Bowl when it rolls around, whatever. They'll go to New Orleans, but while there, they'll say, you know what? We've always seen on TV or heard about the swamp tours. Why don't we make a day trip to a small Louisiana city and go get a swamp tour? While we're here, we always see on television Tiger Stadium. Why don't we take the rental car and drive an hour to Baton Rouge? We can go and tour the tallest state capitol in all of America. We can go and see Death Valley. We can go and look at this historic old state capitol. None of that happens when people decide, you know what? This place isn't safe. Maybe we should take our disposable income and go spend it someplace else. Not to mention, the citizenry deserves so much better than to be not only, mind you, the murder capital of America, but right now, New Orleans is on pace to be, potentially, one of the top 10 deadliest cities on the entire planet. Not just America, mind you, on the entire planet. Now, a lot of the outcry over this is focused on the new progressive prosecutor, the DA. It is reported that out of 1,400 and some odd violent felony cases, this guy, the DA, dismissed 947 of those cases. Now, I'm not privy to the inside information. Maybe people didn't want to testify. Maybe they didn't have a strong enough case. Maybe there was no DNA or physical evidence. But when you dismiss 947 cases out of 1,400 and change violent felony crimes, I don't know about you, but that says to me something's rotten in Denmark, or in this case, something's rotten in that office. Just saying. Now, to show you the spillover effect here, when these people announce they're closing because of problems, one of the most woke organizations on the planet, you know there's going to be some blowback. Starbucks announcing they are going to close their Canal Street location. Why? Because of crime, security, mental health issues, and, wait for it, racism. You heard me right. You know, there needs to be a rule or a procedure, a practice. When someone levels a charge of racism, you have to list specific incidents. Starbucks says they're going to close the Canal Street location in part because of racism. So the question I have, and I think most reasonable people would want to know, where's the racism? I mean, we are talking about a majority black city, are we not? So is the racism coming from them? Or are you telling me in a roundabout way, all of these people that come to visit New Orleans, tourists, are you telling me all these people are bringing their racism with them only to the Canal Street location? Now keep in mind, they're not closing all of them, only this one location. So if there are other Starbucks in New Orleans, other Starbucks not that far away, apparently the racism is exclusive only to the location on Canal Street. Funny how that works, huh? If New Orleans, specifically, the mayor's office, the DA's office, and the woefully understaffed police department does not get a handle on this in the very near future, we are going to watch unfold in front of our very eyes the killing of the goose that lays the golden egg. People will not want, as bad as they want to experience checking off Mardi Gras in New Orleans on their bucket list. They're not going to come because it's not safe. We've seen, God knows how many years, the famed Sugar Bowl. Honey, we need to go to the Sugar Bowl one of these days. We can go down and get some beignets and go to Jackson Square and the cathedral and the whole night. Nah, baby, we can't go. It's not safe. The spillover from this, and as is the case so very often, y'all know me, you know I'm big on old adages. At some point, it's going to kick in with people clearly, loudly, that there's nothing easier to get and nothing harder to get rid of than a bad reputation. You can get a bad reputation just like that, but getting rid of it, it's nowhere near that easy. The police department unveiled a plan last week to, quote, save the city. Now that tells you what road the city of New Orleans is on. You don't have to compile and release a plan to save your city unless the city is on a spiral downhill. Just an observation. First break of today's show. When we come back, segment 2 of the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. You know what that means, right? Yep. Got some special treasured folks that came, and the first thing they asked when they walked through the door, what's up on That's Just Stupid? That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The 2022 Mazda CX-5 with iActive all-wheel drive and available turbo engine. It truly ignites the senses.
Save on your new CX-5 right now during the season of discovery at Team Mazda.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If by chance you are just finding out about the show, tuning in, what have you, you may not be aware that on Tuesdays, the second segment of the Clarence Bug Show, we have a segment that is in direct response to the level of lunacy, stupidity that seems to have taken root and is blossoming out of control in our country. But now, we're not just talking about regular, ordinary, everyday stupid, the STUPID. The level of stupidity we're talking about here, as the graphic on the screen shows you, requires its own spelling, as in STOOPID, as in, now that's just stupid. We start in the granola state, California. Clarence, why do you call California the granola state? Well, if you take out the fruits and the flakes, the only thing that's left are the nuts. Granola. There you go. The Los Angeles school system hires as their, quote, well-respected human relations, diversity, and equity chairperson. This woman, who claims to be a nutritionist, comes out and informs all of us that eating healthy is, wait for it, racist. You heard me right. I'm not going to even call this woman's name because I'm not going to dignify her. And I'm not going to demonize the entire profession of nutritionism. My late mother, God bless her, spent her entire life in school food service as a registered dietitian. So I know about eating right. This woman says, and I quote, I don't know who made these white European bodies the standard. Oh, that's right, white people did. Because there ain't a diverse culture on the face of the earth trying to look like these mediocre white men. So let me get this straight. Our country is in the midst of an obesity epidemic. And what demographic of Americans suffers the most from eating unhealthy? Who's got the highest percentage of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, obesity? I'll give you a hint. They look like me. I'll give you a hint. But this clown, in the midst of an obesity epidemic, plaguing black people the most, comes out and says, oh, eating right is racist. No, it's not racist. You stupid. Secondly, not only is this stupid, this falls under the category of, bruh, you didn't think this one all the way through. Baton Rouge police this week respond to the scene of an accident where a guy runs a red light, hits two vehicles. After hitting the two cars, jumps out, takes off running. Police eventually catch him and find out that, number one, the truck he was driving was stolen. Number two, they find out that he just finished shooting up heroin. Number three, he's a convicted felon and there's a stolen firearm in said stolen truck that the guy on heroin was driving. Who in their right mind thinks it's a good idea to drive a stolen truck, a felon in possession of a firearm, and you just finished shooting up heroin and put the syringe in your pocket? Now, some of y'all might think this is cruel. That's okay. It's not the first thing I've said you don't agree with, and trust me, it won't be the last. But the number of innocent people that were put in harm's way. This guy, obviously, cares nothing about himself. If it were only this guy that decided, I'm hooked on opiates, I need a fix, I'm going to shoot up. If it were only that guy, that would be one thing. But when you make a conscious decision to engage in behavior that puts the very lives of innocent people at risk, society needs to deal with this guy. Pure and simple. Because he has shown in no uncertain terms that he is either unwilling or unable to abide by the laws of a civilized society. And the public deserves to be protected from people that are just flat out stupid. Thirdly, this one, and you all please accept this in the spirit that it's given. Some of us is just stupid. And you can put this at the feet of two entities: the school system and parents. This one really hurt when I saw it the other day because it speaks volumes about the institution of education and the institution of parenthood, not to mention our society as a whole. A Rasmussen poll last week surveying close to 2,000 of our fellow Americans, revealed something that speaks volumes if we're listening. This poll from Rasmussen showed 25% of our fellow Americans could not name one branch of government. You heard me right. It is required by law that as an American child, you have to be in an educational setting. And part of receiving an education has to include somewhere along that road American history and civics. And yet, after going through a minimum, unless of course you dropped out, a minimum of 12 years, 9 months, every one of those 12 years, you spend at least 1 hour a day in a civics class and or American history class. And 25%, a fourth of all of those people could not name one of the three branches of government. Governor, yeah, right, Marty. Now, extrapolate those numbers, if you will. Just imagine, and the poll did not reveal this, but if 25% of us could not name one branch of government, what percentage of us could not name two branches of government? And what paltry percentage of us could actually name all three? How in God's name can you understand what your rights are as an American if you have no idea what the government encompasses? The 25% that cannot name one branch of government, what do you think the odds are that they understand their constitutional rights? That's rhetorical. You don't have to answer. We all know the answer. 0. And I'm not a betting man. Y'all know that. Over the years, I've made it perfectly clear. I'm not a betting man, but I'll take odds on this one. The same folk that can't name one branch of government, they're probably the ones that complain about government the most. Which is why you're on this edition of Now That's Just Stupid. Bottom of the hour break. Let me get this out of the way. When we come back, troubling is the only way I can describe it. And it's our future. We'll talk about that when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Your favorite season is back, and now's the time you can score savings at the Team Automotive Group. You can sell your vehicle to us, and we'll pay you top value. Or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Score VIP service and save at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders?
Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I saw something this past week that is so very troubling on so many levels. Now listen, let me preface this by saying two things. One, we are going to be dealing with, for the foreseeable future, the mental health problems exacerbated by the COVID lockdowns. You've seen in recent memory, people now are walking around literally on edge. The most insignificant thing will trigger people into violent episodes. Two, I understand with, the 24-hour news cycle, social media, and the like, we're now more privy to violent incidents than, say, when I was a kid growing up. There's so many ways to find out about stuff. Now, and listen, I understand people are stupid. We just had a whole segment about stupid. So I get it. I understand that. But this was troubling on so many fronts. A video surfaced, shot on the campus of Southern University, of two female students fighting. I mean, a brawl, like animals. And yeah, I said it, somebody needs to. All on the ground, just rolling around in dirt, pulling hair, you know what a girl fight looks like. But this was disturbing on so many levels. Number one, these are college students. These are supposed to be our best and our brightest hope for the future. Number two, on the list of disturbing things, these were females, not guys. These were two females, both of whom now have been kicked out of on-campus housing and are not allowed to attend any university events. But what was most disturbing to me, when you watch the video, there are dozens of students in attendance, standing around, cheering them on, watching it, and of course, videoing it on the cell phone. This close to 50 kids apparently have not been told or do not care what it makes them look like, what it makes the university that they attend look like, don't know or don't care what it makes their parents and their family look like, and apparently don't know or don't care what it makes the entire black community look like. Not a one of them. And there are guys in the video, you see them plain as day, not a one of them saw fit to try and break it up. Not a one. Then it occurred to me, this may be the ultimate irony in all of this. This group of dozens of students and the two females rolling around in the dirt fighting, this group of people is the number one demographic that was in support of and will tell anybody who's listening that Black Lives Matter. This group is the number one demographic in support of Black Lives Matter. But not a one of them thought these two black lives were important enough to break it up. How many times in recent memory have we seen a fight where one punch, person falls the wrong way, hits their head on the concrete and dies? This group of people, the same group that's preaching to everybody, saying it at the drop of a hat that Black Lives Matter, and you stand your sorry behind right there and watch and cheer on the degradation of black lives. Of course, you probably a Democrat, so being a hypocrite comes natural. Yeah, I said it. Tell me where I'm lying. Meanwhile, as if this indication of the future isn't bad enough, same week, Capital Middle School. This week, there will be a hearing, an expulsion hearing for not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 middle school students for, anybody want to take a guess? A brawl. Now, I don't claim to be some prognosticator of the future. God knows I don't have a crystal ball at home. I've never been to see Sister Eve in my life. But when I see 5 middle schoolers facing expulsion for fighting, and then I see 2 female college students on camera in a crowd of close to 50 people brawling like animals in the dirt, that does not bode well for our future. Parents, I have no idea what your home life with your children is like. But I will tell you this. There was a time not so very long ago where parents particularly in the black community, because only a small percentage of us were allowed or had the resources to go to college. Matter of fact, at one point in our country's history, people that looked like me couldn't even get an education. But parents made it a point. Son, people died for you to have the right to get an education. The good people in this country came to the realization, wait a minute, this guy's got darker skin than mine, but I know for a fact he's capable of working just as hard as me. Wait, he's got dark skin, but I know for a fact he's capable of learning just like me. Our parents sat us down and taught us, before we left to go, you are representing this household, yourself, the institution that you attend, and black folks in general. So don't you take your behind up there acting a fool. Because if you do, you're going to have to deal with me when you come home. Parents, you owe it to have this conversation with your children. You owe it to them. They didn't ask to come here. You brought them here. And it is your responsibility to raise them in a fashion that they don't go out and end up on social media embarrassing you, your family name, themselves, and the fine institution that is Southern University. When they do that, that's on us. Those aren't Southern's kids. Those are your kids. And for the guys to stand around and not even entertain the thought of lifting a finger to break this up is embarrassing. It's disgusting. But yet, Black Lives Matter. No, they don't. They only matter. Now, imagine this. Had it been a white girl involved fighting a sister, ho, 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 ho. Yeah, buddy, it would have been all over everywhere. Do you not see the hypocrisy? Do you not see the stupidity? And then we wonder why certain groups of folks don't want to be around us. Y'all ain't gonna like this. I'm old. I don't care. I'm black. And there's a lot of black folk I don't want to be around. Yeah, I said it. Don't like it? Fix it. It is totally within our control to fix this. The only question is, do we have the moral turpitude or just the good old-fashioned backbone to do it? Final break of today's show. We'll come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads and Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads and Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads and Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads and Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, I have been so very fortunate in my line of work and God blessing me with longevity in that regard. It has afforded me the opportunity over time to observe certain things, and being a big fan of old adages, I have been able to coin certain phrases that fit patterns of things. One of which you've heard me say countless times over the years. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. What they do. Because they're hypocrites. Our society is chocked full of people that will tell you one thing while they do the exact opposite. It is particularly prevalent to those that reside on the political left, Democrats. For example, if prior to last week you were to drive around Martha's Vineyard, very scenic place, homes built there. People have vacation homes that you and I could never envision working all of our lives to buy just a regular home to live in, much less a vacation home. Prior to last week, if you were to drive around Martha's Vineyard, you would probably see some of the yard signs that were posted that said, "We value diversity, inclusion, and immigrants," because they're a sanctuary city. So last week, God bless him, when the governor of Texas sent 50 immigrants from Texas and had them dropped off in Martha's Vineyard, oh my God, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, we got a crisis. 50 people. It took them 44 hours to kick them out. I don't know if they do this in white nightclubs. Back in my nightclub days, in the black nightclubs, shortly before closing time, they'd ring the bell. And you'd hear someone say, all right, getting ready for last call, getting ready for last call. With about 10 minutes, 15 minutes left in last call, someone would then make an announcement, sometimes over the PA system. All right, we're closing in 15 minutes. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You don't have to go home, but you sure as hell can't stay in here. That's what Martha's Vineyard told the immigrants. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. 50 people. And they have declared it a crisis. So Fox News did a little digging. Come to find out, Martha's Vineyard has a $10 million budget surplus. But 50 people showing up unannounced equals a crisis. They also have hundreds of empty hotel rooms, thousands of empty rooms in vacation homes. But 50 people caused a crisis. You know how you can very easily these days tell what people are all about? What they tell you, particularly if they are on the political left, the things they accuse you and other people of doing, it's actually what they are doing. These are the same people that said the governor of Texas is racist. He is playing political games with people's lives. You've heard the whole litany of things that they've accused him of. And 50 people show up. And it's a crisis. But, like the signs say when you drive around Martha's Vineyard, we value diversity, inclusion, and immigrants, as long as they're not in our city. Funny how that works, isn't it? Meanwhile, speaking of, don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. You're going to have to do that, bro. From now on. Marty just went, what they do. President Joe Biden, as you well know, has been preaching incessantly to you, yours truly, and the rest of our fellow Americans about the need to save the planet, climate change, reduce your carbon footprint. We are killing the world. So for the Queen's funeral this past weekend, the British government, in an effort to look green and hold down congestion within the city, because they knew, man, we're going to have people coming from all over the place that want to see the procession and they want to pay their respects and this, that, and the other. The British government specifically requested, if you're the head of a government and you're coming for the funeral, leave your personal vehicles at home. We've made arrangements. We're going to put everybody on some special buses. We'll transport you to the services and back to where you need to go. We haven't been able to confirm it just yet, but we know for a fact that one of, if not the only person who chose to ignore this was whom? Yeah. Not only, and you can't make this stuff up, not only did you, the taxpayer, pay for the beast, you know, the specially made bulletproof limousine that gets, wait for it, 8 miles a gallon. We put it on a plane and flew it halfway across the world, along with all of the support vehicles. Flew it halfway across the world. 1 hour after the funeral was over, we loaded it back up at your expense and flew it halfway back around the world. For a vehicle that gets 8 miles a gallon. Now, it's one thing for this guy to preach to you about saving the planet. That is what that is. They are who they are. They do what they do. It's one thing for him to preach it. It is something else entirely for you to be stupid enough to listen. You're going to tell me about reducing my carbon footprint. But you're going to fly a vehicle that gets 8 freaking miles a gallon, halfway around the world, when the people specifically requested that you leave your personal cars at home. Don't listen to what they say. Just watch what they do. And Jonathan, you deserve credit on that as well. Jonathan gave him the prompt, what they do. We need to have a segment with the OJs playing in the background, what they do. Don't listen to what they say. Just watch what they do. We welcome diversity, inclusion, and immigrants. Let them stay 44 hours, and they shipped them off to a military base. And, leave it to those on the left to put a cherry on top of a you-know-what sundae. Then they had the nerve, the people of Martha's Vineyard, to pat themselves on the back. Oh, look at the great outpouring of resources and money and support. And you kicked them out. At some point, y'all gonna get it. And you'll have a perfect opportunity to show the entire world that you get it in the very near future. It's called the midterm elections. Let's start down the road to fixing this mess, y'all. Because if we don't, by the time we do, it might be too late. My time's up, and I got to go. But once again, this day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you know he loves you. And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you could do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you soon. God bless.